Hey everyone, Nicola Light here, remembering you back into your light. I've just literally did a live stream which was really very beautiful. If you want to check that out, which was all about the master timeline, which is open for all of us to connect into. So check that live stream that I brought forward. But as I was talking to a wonderful friend of mine, Arabella, some information was coming through forward about the infinity symbol and the center of being, and conscious mind and subconscious mind. So this is what I'm going to bring forward with some light codes into remembrance, into an inner wisdom of the ignition with understanding this reality. So if you're new to my channel, thank you for joining me. I do hope that you can stay to the end and then see what actually this information actually entails and all of this information that's going to come through. Check out all the details below, which is nicolalight.com if you want to work with me, if you want to sort of deepen into yourself. I've got an 8 program which will help you move through your ascension journey. So check that out. And yeah, all that beautiful stuff that we always say on YouTube, don't we? You know, like, subscribe and share the content. So the information that I want to bring forward is a deepening into the infinity symbol that I've spoken about, which is the 8 year. And these are times of opportunities that enable us to rise. So the 224 2024 is an 8 year, which is the year of the infinite. Infinite possibilities can happen during this time. So an 8 year on its side is an infinity symbol. And as it sort of rises through the ups and downs of with a perceived idea of positive and negative, we hit a center point, which is right in the center point, the point here. And we can drift in and out of duality as we move through our journey. But the conscious and the subconscious is what I want to talk about today. So conscious and the sub. Okay, da. They want me to write the full word. So the sub meaning under. Da. Oh, that's the same as minus. Negative. Okay, interesting. The perceived idea of our reality comes from a sense of conscious understanding, consciously, communication. With the mind. So conscious means then that we're moving into mind, but we are aware and we are communicating. So we have a commune. So we have a sense of awareness. Thank you. So sub is under. Understand. When we look at things that are under, it feels like we cannot see, so it's not seen. So rather than saying dark and light, we're looking at conscious and subconscious. The beingness of the mind sits within the center. So this is mind. And when we're dipping into the conscious beingness, we can see. But when we're dipping into the sub under projection of our awareness, it's something that we cannot see within ourselves. If we relate this to a sense of manifestation or creation, we're looking at that we want to bring the subconscious up into an awareness and anchor it into the all that is, of that we are aware of. That brings everything from the undergrowth, the underworld, into our understanding, and flip it into a sense of inner standing. because the inner is the in. So the clues are in the words. The words are always there to create a spelling of our reality. So everything that comes forward in a linear language is that of a spelling. Thank you. When we come to the ignition of light language, we allow ourselves to rise into the inner wisdom of light that moves past the spoken word, the spelling word, the understanding of mind. It surpasses all of that and brings the inner wisdom within into a conscious concept of being seen, awareness within. And if we look at the point of focus and where we are rising into, we allow the inner light to ignite within, and it's neither good or bad. It's just the awareness of inner programs that prevent us from rising into the center point of our creation. And from that center point of creation, we allow ourselves to move and morph and change our reality. So they're giving me like this symbol. It's like an ignition that morphs and changes from a ball-like substance. In the center of a ball, you have the inner spark, or like a neutron within a creation. So everything, if you look at everything, so like an egg going into the sperm and then penetrating for a creation of life to come in, it splits and it morphs itself into two, and then it goes into four, and then it goes into, and then it grows and grows, and eight, and then it morphs and changes. And this is all our deep cellular structure of our physicality, is that everything morphs and changes within the reality of being. But from each concept, there's going to be a start-off point with 4 and the center point. You've got positive and negative charge, and you've got the upper knowing and the lower knowing. Okay, thank you. When we are in the center point and we upcharge our mind into awareness, okay, we can allow ourselves to see how the game is made. But the deeper that we go into the inner self, the inner standing, we can then see what it is with the merge of this and that. It's the inner light, the inner connection, the inner standing, the ignition from within. It is no longer a sense of subterranean underneath it. It is the original template of being. And the original template of being is not hijacked. It's not darkened. It's not an illusion. It's not a program that is what you are not. It's something that can be lifted from you with the ignition and the awareness of the inner light, the inner standing, that is not subconscious. Okay, da alamasio bakianto da alabisimakiatam. Alamasya bakianto da basimakiatam. You just become conscious and conscious, but from different perspectives. Conscious of mind and conscious of heart. Ooh. Alamasya bakianto da alamasyo bakianto alabasimakiato da alabasimakiatam. So conscious of mind and conscious of heart. The heart is a feeling. And when we feel deep inside of ourselves, we ignite the inner light, the inner wisdom, and then we see that there is no opposition, there is no duality at all. Everything is just is. Everything just is. But our perception of our mind and playing the game of subconscious and conscious then starts to spark in, because then we're in the realms of the illusionary field. Our perception of the reality is in the sense of hijack. But because it's the underworld that is creating a sense of the reality, it's not creating from our mind, which holds the higher mind, which holds the purity of knowing, because the consciousness that runs through us is creating heaven on earth. We're not cutting off the upper body in a lower body creation as we connect our mind to our lower body, that we perceive the reality to be from our mind, which is the five sensory perception of being. So when we feel that we are of mind consciously and not aware of a subconscious understanding of the feeling of heart, then we then plug into the old system of the illusionary field. As soon as we can then bring and have a sense of an inner knowing, the subconscious mind just runs in a conscious perception with that. It doesn't feel like it's something that is holding you back, because we are holding the inner light from within and feeling where we are at, rather than running a program or a perception of that subconscious mind holds us back at all. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters. Nothing creates from a place of distortion. Nothing creates from a conscious perception of the light. So if we're light, we can create anything that we wish, which is the master manifester. We're moving from the illusory field of subconscious understanding, of a belief system and a presentation of a cycle, because we're plugged into an old system. As soon as we move over into the New World template, we are in a center point that we then become the creator of the reality, and we don't run a program of negativity and subconscious programming. We unplug from the illusion and we center. We base in center, which is the awareness of who we are, that we are master creators. We tap into the master timeline, plug ourselves into the original template of being, spark our inner wisdom, and become the creator of the reality. But the creator of the reality is the pure acceptance of where we are at, is where we are at, without any judgment of it. At this point, we become an alchemist, where we start to then create from a conscious level of understanding, download the information from that realm of understanding to enable us to inject it into our reality, so that we then center within that spark, God's soul spark within, and run our program that is of the feeling of heart, which is the original template of which we signed up for being. We all signed up to come here to walk upon the earth as heaven upon earth, the creators of this earth, the creators of our reality. But we've got hijacked, plugged into a subconscious programming that then has actually then subdivided you off into separation, taken away that aspect of yourself which is pure light. There is no duality. It's an experience. But we programmed into the understanding in a spiritual context, in that, and through religion, that there is this subconscious running under program of a belief that we have a block at all. We don't have any blocks. That's the beauty of how the infiltration of our light has come in, is that they programmed that it's okay that you're running a program of love and light. It's okay that you're running a program of that there is subconscious that holding you back with your blocks of childhood. No, it isn't. No. None of it. None of it matters. None of it. None of it. None of it. None of it. Where you are at is where you are at, and where you are at is beautiful. Everything that is presented is beautiful. The more that we center point it with our inner wisdom of seeing it without even a judgment of duality, and an inner standing of the light that we are is the light that we are, is that we are the inner spark, and we are at, or where we are at, because we are centered within the experience of this illusionary field that we're tapped into the original template of where we are at, so that we can surpass with our mind and into our hearts the feeling and creation of where we are at. And that is that. Boom shakalaka. You might want to watch this again, right? If you're on the beginning of your journey, you probably won't get a thing that I've just spoken about there. There might be this inspiration that sparks up within you with the codes that I brought forward that will then create a sense of remembrance within. So I'm really pushing boundaries here into the depths of inner standing of what is coming forth from my connection to high levels of understanding of this reality through the codex of which I've brought forward, and I have an inner standing as a result of my light codes that come forward. If you're new to light language and you really want to get into a deeper perspective of light language, there's a link below which is understanding light codes. I've got an online course as well as a transmission codex that are also on there. So there's two particular online courses, and if you want to work with me independently, one-to-one or within groups, check out my website, which is nicolalight.com, and I can help and assist you into you becoming and doing what you came here to do. Okay, this light language revolution and the sparking that's coming in is so changing upon the planet. We're all starting to bring in our light. The more that we can push through our mind and our fears and our blocks to ignite this inner wisdom to come up, more of this information will be coming forward as we push into the inner spark and the original template of being. Okay, there is nothing that you are doing is wrong. Okay, that's duality. The experience is perfect, but we've got to tap into the light, into that ignition of our original reason why we came here in the first place. I'm so excited as I've deepened into my inner standing and start to release all this subconscious programming that I feel that there is a block at all within my system. Every single step along the journey is correct. Every stepping stone which we take as we unfold into the inner standing of the reality creates us to rise up through what it is that we are experiencing here upon earth. Okay, we must unplug from the belief systems and programming, the subconscious programming that has tapped us into the reality of distortion. It's the center point, the light within. Okay, everything is inside of yourself. If you've got that light coming forward, please keep your codes coming through, because you will start to remember. You will start to remember how this works and why you came here, right? To free everybody from that distorted field. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. Check out also my Patreon. I've got lots of different things that I'm bringing in there. Whether you're a paid member, there will be some free information on there if you want to join on the free membership. I'll be bringing some bits and pieces forward, but there are paid tiers on there if you want to assist me, which I really do appreciate. It just helps me provide some free content here on YouTube, and also check out my Rumble account just in case anything happens with YouTube. And so that's so I'm on Rumble also, so I'll be putting some information on there. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, check out that live stream that I did last and all the other video content. See how I've grown through the process of remembering myself back into my light, and you can do it too. So be empowered. Okay, take care everyone. Bye.